Running Back Nation, what is good? It is your boy DJ Eastwood, Running Back Philly, no frauds, no fanboys, no intros. Give me 10 billion likes on this video, all right? Just hit the thumbs up just because. Us Sixers fans are in absolute turmoil right now, and here's what we're going to do, okay? We're going to go through the 76ers record without Joel Embiid. We're going to try to decide. We're going to look at what games they've won, what games they've lost, how they won them, how they lost them. And we're going to try to decide if the Sixers can survive without him. Here's the thing. If they stay in contention, as long as they don't fall completely out of the playoffs and they get him back 100%, you're a contender again. Sixers are a contender with Joel Embiid. I've said it the whole season. With him, they're a contender. Without him, they are not. If Joel Embiid's not healthy, you're screwed. Not just because the roster still isn't very deep, but the whole system was built around him. Every player on the roster is put there to try to fit around Joel. He's the entire thing. All right. So let's get down to work. Okay, our guy Adrian Wojnarowski last night drops the bomb, breaking 76er star Joel Embiid, the reigning MVP, will undergo a procedure this week to repair a left meniscus injury. A team official tells ESPN a recovery timeline is expected after the procedure, but expectation is that he will miss an extended period of time. So we were up in the air, for the past couple of days saying, like, if he plays through it, this is how long. If he gets the surgery, this is how long. Should he play through it? Should he get surgery? Last time he tried to play through this, he wasn't 100%. And if he's not 100%, you're not a contender in the playoffs anyway. So he had to get the surgery. So he's going to get the surgery. And we're going to find out, how long he could possibly be out. Adrian Wojnarowski says the door isn't closed on an Embiid return this season, but there will be a clearer idea on a timeline once the procedure is complete this week. So when he has the surgery, we'll know the answer. We don't know the answers right now. I am 100% speculating. Let's first look at how long it usually takes for a player to come back from a surgery like this on specifically what did they call it? A displaced flap in the meniscus or whatever. It's a torn meniscus. But let's try to figure out how long he could possibly be out. All right, man. Your boy Eastwood, Dr. Eastwood, is on WebMD. Typical times for returning from meniscus surgery. So this is just generalized meniscus surgery. Everything, every single meniscus surgery is different to its specific injury and surgical procedure. But just to generalize it, right, here you go. To bear some weight on your knee after surgery, to walk with no crutches after surgery, uncomplicated meniscus removal or meniscectomy, meniscus repair surgery. So it could take 4 to 6 weeks for Joel Embiid to even be walking without crutches. Okay, I don't know who said that meniscus tear surgery he'd be back in a month. Like, I don't know who said that. You could drive in 4 to 6 weeks. Full movement capacity. Bending is usually restricted to under 90 degrees for the first 4 to 6 weeks. So look, bro, come back to athletic activity, and we might have to, dude, when you have meniscus surgery, it could take 3 to 6 months to come back to athletic activity. But we're not even talking about normal athletic activity. We're talking about a 300-pound man playing basketball in the NBA at the level of agility and movement that he moves with. Bro, like, I don't feel good about this. And again, the times here are different because one of them is a removal of the meniscus or meniscectomy, and this one is meniscus repair surgery. I don't think which one is it? What's a meniscectomy? Let me find out. All right, so a meniscectomy is meniscus repair surgery. They're the same thing, but this is okay. Now I'm confused. All right, we got the answer. A meniscectomy is an arthroscopic surgery where your meniscus is either removed partially or totally. In other words, the torn meniscus is trimmed and made in shape. If it is fully torn, then it is replaced. Well, it's not fully torn. It's a displaced flap. So Joel Embiid is part of the longer process. Meniscus repair is a delicate surgery where the torn meniscus is trimmed into shape and left to heal on its own. So we are fucked. Let's just say, for the sake of our own sanities, that he does come back in the 3-month range. Where would that land us on the schedule? All right, so the NBA play-in game 1 is April 16th. Today is February 5th. If he comes back in 3 months, February, March, April, May 5th, he could be back. And the play-in tournament starts April 16th. So, I mean, 3 months is the rest of the race. He's out for the season, bro. If he would come back on May 5th, that'd be right around where the conference semifinals begin, which is the second round of the playoffs, which is where the Sixers usually lose anyway. But basically, if Joel Embiid comes back from the surgery in 3 months, the Sixers are going to have to try to survive a first-round playoff matchup without him. Let me know in the comments if you think that's possible. You already know my answer, bro. They just got smoked by the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, Maxey dropped 51 a couple nights ago, and they barely squeaked out a win. So Maxey's going to have to drop 50 for them to be able to win a game, basically. The 76ers are 26-8 with Joel Embiid this season. They are 4-10 without him, and I mean the numbers speak for themselves. They score almost 8-9 points per game more. They rebound more. They have more assists per game. They have a higher field goal percentage. They have more threes made. They have a higher 3-point percentage. Everything's better when Joel Embiid's on the floor. They're 4-10 without him, and they shoot 33% from 3-point range without him because nobody's really creating space for open shots. Let's just do the math of 4-10 by the rest of the games this season and see what their record would be and go to the standings. The 76ers are 40% team without Joel at 4-10. They have 34 games left. Let's just try to... What's 40% of 34?
The answer is 13.6.
We'll give them the benefit of the doubt and round that up to 14 wins out of the next 34. If the Sixers do win 40% of their next 34 games, that would land them at 44-38 to finish the season. That is about a 53% win percentage. And if you look at the standings right here and just go by win percentages, say every team stays on pace with what they've been doing the whole season, that would land the 76ers at about the 7th or 8th seed going into the playoffs. Fall to 9th or 10th, whatever, doesn't really matter that much. They would be in the dead smack in the middle of the play-in tournament. And without Joel Embiid, can they even beat Orlando, Miami, Chicago, Atlanta? I'm going to say yes to Chicago, but Atlanta, Miami's been on a losing streak, but, you know, they can always turn it around. They would have a tough time winning games to get out of the damn play-in tournament. And let's say they do get out of the play-in tournament there, and they land the 8th seed, worst case scenario, winning the play-in tournament from the 10th seed or whatever it is. They would play the Boston Celtics in the first round without Joel Embiid. And ladies and gentlemen, book it. Hook, line, and sinker. Close the book. That's a 4-0 sweep. No doubt in my mind. If they'd end up playing Milwaukee without Joel Embiid in the first round, that would be maybe a 4-1 finish. Yeah, actually. If the timeline is Joel Embiid coming back after 3 months, best case scenario, 3 months, they'd have to try to survive a first round against either Boston or Milwaukee without Joel Embiid, and no trade deadline move is going to get you out of that scenario. I'm sorry to tell you guys, the season is over. So my prediction for the season, my prediction for the trade deadline, having all of that taken into account, because, I just did that off the top of my head. The 76ers and NBA teams definitely have analytics departments that did that way more in depth and are trying to project things to try to make decisions. I don't think Daryl Morey's going to do anything at the trade deadline, because you got it, once they do the math on that, you're going to be looking at next season. And there's no reason to give up assets right now for anything at the trade deadline if you're not getting Joel Embiid back until the second round of the playoffs. Kyle Lowry in a buyout, does that, who cares really? At this point, who cares? Play Turquavian Smith and Ricky Council. Sit Tobias Harris the rest of the season with the flu that he has every other game. Sit Nick Batum with the hamstring he has every other game. It just, I wish I had a better outlook on it. I just don't. Either way, we will be live tonight. Sixers versus Dallas Mavericks. We'll be live on Playback TV. Tune into that game and watch it with us. We're going to be getting into real 76ers sicko territory, okay? Because most of the mainstream fans, when they find out how long Joel Embiid's going to be out, they are not going to be tuning into these games. So, sickos, it's going to be me and you for the rest of the season. All right. So tune in on Playback TV, and we'll be right here doing post-game live after every game. We ain't stopping. Real Sixers sicko type of stuff. Okay. Hit the like button on this video. I love you all. I'll see you soon.